You stand up and walk confidently into the next room. You stop in the middle of the floor, completely blank. You have absolutely no idea what you came in here to get. You tell yourself you are just distracted or a little tired. You might even joke that your memory is starting to fade. But that may not be the whole story. The real answer is much older than your modern house. When this happens, it feels like a cognitive failure, a small glitch in an otherwise healthy and functioning mind. The modern assumption is that your brain simply dropped a file. But that is not quite right. That answer is far too small. Your brain did not lose the memory by accident. It actively and aggressively deleted it on purpose. The stranger part is what triggered the deletion. It was not time passing, and it was not a sudden distraction. It was the physical frame of the door. Psychologists call this the doorway effect, and it reveals a hidden architecture inside human memory. Your brain does not record life as one continuous flowing movie. It chops your existence into distinct, manageable segments. And the dividing line is almost always a physical boundary. To understand why, start with the ancient body. For hundreds of thousands of years, moving to a new area meant danger. Leaving the cave to enter the forest changed the rules of survival.
The predators were different. The light was different. The threats were new. Your nervous system had to process this instantly. Holding on to the mental map of the previous environment was useless.
In fact, it was computationally expensive and highly dangerous. The brain had to dump the old cache to load the new one. Psychology researchers have repeatedly observed this mechanism in laboratory settings.
In a well-known study at the University of Notre Dame,
participants were asked to carry objects across a virtual space.
Sometimes they walked across a single, large, continuous room. Other times, they walked the exact same distance, but through a doorway. The physical distance and the time elapsed were identical. But the results were dramatically different. Whenever people crossed a doorway, their memory of the object plummeted. The door itself acted as a hard reset for their short-term memory. Researchers later confirmed this happens in real physical spaces just as reliably.
this happens because of what cognitive scientists call an event boundary.
Think of your short-term memory as a small container. It can only hold a few pieces of active information at once. When you cross a physical threshold, the brain issues a quiet command. It declares the previous episode officially closed. The mental workspace is instantly wiped clean. It is preparing the container for whatever might be in the new room. The thought of getting your keys belonged to the old room. So the doorway literally purges the keys from your mind. It is making space for vital new survival data. And then it gets stranger.
We view this memory wipe as an annoying flaw.
But from an evolutionary perspective, it is a brilliant optimization. A brain that remembers absolutely everything is slow to react. If you step into a clearing where a predator is waiting,
you cannot be distracted by what you were looking for in the trees. Your focus must be entirely locked on the immediate present. The memory wipe is an ancient alarm system. It ensures your attention is always mapping the room you are actually in. Now compare that ancient programming with modern life. You live in a house with a kitchen, a bedroom, and a hallway.
You cross a dozen physical thresholds every single morning.
To you, walking into the kitchen is totally safe. But your ancient brain does not know what a modern house is. It only sees an event boundary. It only senses that the physical environment has changed. So it faithfully pulls the alarm and wipes the slate clean. This is where the ghost appears. Pathologize this perfectly functioning ancient system. We scold ourselves for being forgetful or aging prematurely.
We quietly worry that our mind is slowly breaking down. But the biological cost of misreading this is unnecessary stress.
You are not losing your memory. Your memory is executing a highly advanced survival protocol. It is working exactly as it was designed to.
We are constantly rebooting as we move through space.
Our consciousness is not a single flowing river. It is a series of discrete rooms, stitched together by habit. Every time you step through a door, a tiny version of you ends, and a new version begins, ready to face the unknown.
This invisible rhythm shapes your entire daily existence.
It is the quiet echo of ancestors walking into the dark. The ancient system did not disappear. It changed jobs. It guards the modern doorway just as it guarded the cave. So the next time you stand blankly in the kitchen, holding an empty coffee cup with no memory of why,
Do not be frustrated with your brain.
It just cleared the deck to keep you alive.